everyone, Christina here for Card Player TV, back for another edition of the Poker Buzz. Last night, ESPN premiered 2 new episodes of the World Series of Poker main event. One of the featured players was Tom Schneider, and we've got him on the phone to talk about it. Hey Tom, how are you?
Outstanding. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Did you get a chance to watch yourself on ESPN last night?
I did.
Now, I know you've been there before. You've been featured on ESPN. You were the World Series of Poker Player of the Year. But does it ever not get exciting to be on television playing poker?
I think it's fun just to watch and see. You know, you always have an impression of yourself, and it's nice to know whether it's real or not. And so I really enjoyed watching it. And I actually haven't gotten much TV time on the World Series just because the events that I won were not No Limit Hold'em that were televised.
Right. Well, you started the first day that they showed as one of the chip leaders, or the chip leader, and it seemed like even through the whole episode you just stayed around the same, up a little, maybe down a little bit. Was your playing style just pretty solid?
Yeah, I think some people make mistakes when they have a big stack trying to do too much bullying, and then they end up losing their stack. I got my stack just by playing pretty solid poker. I did take a couple. I did pick up a pot, if you noticed, with 2 nines where there were 4 players in. I raised in the middle position, and then there were 2 or 3 callers, and then a guy raised. He was in the big blind, and I re-raised again. So
yeah, I wanted to ask you about that.
That's not a play that I typically make. I'd rather see a flop there, but I just felt weakness all the way around. So, but yeah, I try to hold on to my chips, not playing hands, but trying to be a little more selective and not build too big a pot, until I have a pretty good hand.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about that hand. When you raised with those 9s and you got 2 callers behind you, and the big blind re-raised, you just felt like it was a squeeze? Had he been 3-betting pretty light? What was your read on Stacy?
Well, the 2 guys behind me, I felt for sure if I raised his raise, I wouldn't be playing against him. The other thing is that the guy that raised in the big blind, I thought it was a mistake, and some people don't think about this, but when he raised my raise, I knew that the 2 guys behind me probably couldn't call a re-raise, and I also knew that if I made a mistake with him, that his chip stack wasn't that big that it would damage me too much. So I felt like it'd be a good isolation play with him, and I also felt like it would look really strong if I re-raised there.
And you can also make that play because, like you said, you hadn't been making big pots pre-flop with hands like that previous to this. Is that right?
Right, exactly.
They also showed a hand actually before this, and in contrary to this hand, you had pocket jacks and you just called a raise. Do you remember which hand I'm talking about, and do you remember why you decided to just call with those pocket jacks?
I do. I believe that I hadn't had much experience with that player yet, and I just don't like to play that big of pots pre-flop, and if I would have. I just don't like to play that big of pots pre-flop unless I have a better hand than jacks. I don't know. I just feel like some people. I don't want to give anybody a chance, especially if he's a real aggressive player, to re-raise me. And now I've just lost a lot of money, and I didn't get to see a flop. And I feel like with a pair of jacks, I got a good shot at busting someone. Also, if the right cards come.
Okay.
I ended up losing a pretty small pot.
Right.
And kept it real small, and I lost a pretty small pot. Unfortunately, he turned a trip 6s on me, and I know that a lot of people would say, you should bet there, but a lot of people might check an ace there with 3 players in, and I just didn't want to put any more money in unless, I thought I was good on. I thought I could be good on the river, but I also thought I really had a strong feeling on the turn when that 6 hit that it hit him. I don't know what it was, but my radar was working really well that day, and I just felt like the 6 might have hit him, just the way he reacted, and so that's why I just called there, and that's why I checked the river, because I thought he's either got nothing and missed everything completely, or he has a really big hand and he's trying to check raise me, and so I figured he'd either fold if I bet, or raise me if I bet. So I didn't like either one of those two options.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and he definitely bet pretty small on the turn,
Right.
like a third of the pot or something.
Exactly.
They also mentioned your wife Julie, and she made a final table this year, and they said that you guys are very competitive in poker. What does that mean? Do you guys play heads up? Do you bet with each other? What's going on there?
Well, a couple of things. One is she doesn't really like to take poker advice from me. She likes to learn it on her own, and it's always irritated me that she won't listen to me at poker. But I will tell you that she's a really good player. She plays deuce to seven outstandingly, and she plays a couple of other games really well. And but when we play at the casino, a lot of casinos don't like it when husbands and wives play at the same table.
Mm-hmm.
But all the people at Casino Arizona encourage us to play together because they like to see the sparks fly when Julie and I play a hand. They know that we're not soft playing because usually get in an argument of some sort. It's kind of funny. They think we should have a reality show of the way we talk to each other. It's pretty funny.
That is funny. Well, one more question I wanted to ask your opinion on is when you were at the televised final table, did you notice that the younger, more inexperienced players may have been getting out of line a little bit because they were on TV? I saw a couple of plays, a couple guys re-raising with King Queen, re-raising with Ace-6 against Prahlad when he was going to be priced in to call us all in. What's your opinion on that?
I think that's exactly why I don't re-raise with two jacks in that spot, because I knew it was a younger guy, and I don't want to give them a chance to get me off of a hand. Obviously, I'd probably re-raise. I would definitely re-raise if I had kings or aces, because I'd probably put a raise in that would entice him to re-raise me. But I just want to see flops against these guys because I know that they're going to play way too aggressively, just like that guy did with Prahlad. I mean, Prahlad's either going to have a hand there most of the time, or he's going to have missed completely, and the guy's going to pick up the pot. But it's going to cost him, like you said, he was priced in, and he's priced in to move in if he had any sort of hand. And so I don't want to play big pots with hands like Ace-6 and things like that. But some of those guys, I don't know if it is the TV or if it's just that's the way they play. But it seems that internet play is so much different than live play, and it just, if you're trying to get through a field of 6,500, I don't recommend those kind of plays.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your advice and for talking with us about your episode last night on ESPN.
You're welcome. It was nice talking to you.
Nice to talk to you too.
Hopefully there'll be some more stuff this next Tuesday. I imagine my wife was doing some cheers and stuff like that, and having just a great old time every time I won a pot. And I think they got a lot of video of her too, so it'll be fun to watch.
We'll definitely look forward to that next week.
All right, Christy. Thanks.
Thanks, Tom.